All rise for your dishonorable, not a real judge, Damone Allen. Debatable is now in session.
Welcome to Debatable. I'm your host and not a real judge, Damone Allen. Welcome to the show you never knew you wanted, where we debate the serious, the silly, and anything in between. And I just forgot what I was going to say.
Wow. You went through every tagline the show's ever had.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, it's Debatable, where we debate stuff. Usually there's one food topic and one random topic that comes to my mind like an hour or two before we record. So, welcome to the show. As usual, it's me, you're not a real judge, Damone Allen. And joining me today, as always, is Hi-Fi Mike.
Hey.
And Hi-Fi Wife.
Hello.
And joining us today is special guest Jenn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, we're here. We're ready.
Living the dream.
It's the first night of 6-day vacation, so I'm pretty excited.
He's literally living the dream.
Yeah, she got to be pumped for that.
Paid vacation. that
always
is the
nice.
Dream.
That is the dream. Jenn, because you're new, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am 37. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. My primary function in life is childcare. I work a lot with little kids. Most of them are under the age of 5. In my spare time, I enjoy cooking, movies, and a lot of my spare time and energy goes into fundraising for charity.
Sounds like a full plate.
Yes, it
It does
is.
sound like a full plate.
I thought my plate was full, but it's nowhere near.
Do you sleep?
I do. Not always well, but I do sleep.
Good.
Good. So, topic number 1, we're going to go with best cuisine. And by best cuisine, I mean like the best between Chinese food, soul food, Italian, barbecue, whatever American, whatever type of food you think is the best, we're going with that.
Did I ever tell you pick some of the hardest topics ever?
Yes, every single week. And you
always
always tell me I need to narrow it down.
You're like, pick all your favorite food, just one whole genre of food. Just go for it.
Pretty much.
Oh.
So Jenn, because you're the guest, 9 times out of 10, if I remember, we let the guest go first. So what would you say is the best cuisine of food?
That's a really tough question. Only because I live in New York City, so there's so many good options. And any kind of cuisine I want, I could probably get within 20 minutes of my house right now. I would have to say, if I had to pick only one, like American comfort food, like fried chicken, stuff like that would be my absolute favorite. Anything that's fried and greasy and, bad for your general health is probably what I would pick before anything else.
Taste-wise, it's hard to disagree, and then I start to think about my heart, and I'm like, ooh, probably not.
No, absolutely. If only it didn't do anything to us.
Oh, that'd be great. I wish that I could eat all the American cuisine without thinking if I'm gonna have a heart attack right afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyone else? Melanie, do you have anything to add to that?
Sounds delicious. I love. Yes.
Okay, Melanie, what's your number 1?
Well, because I ate it tonight, I really like going out to eat Asian cuisine. I went to a place called Ramen Katsu tonight, and I got a pork something or another with some eel sauce on top, and it was delicious. And I just love Asian food. Sushi, amazing.
I'm not the biggest fan of sushi.
I'm
The only
hit or
sushi I really
miss.
like is like the California roll.
Yeah. I'm usually hit or miss with sushi. Like, I like sushi, just kind of don't tell me what's in it, and I think I'm good. But I won't fuck with anything with eel. I'm not fucking with no eel.
Well,
Like,
it's not like it's an eel sauce, which is just like
I'm still
a
not.
flavor of
You
sauce.
can't tell me if eel's in the name. I'm not eating it. I'm sorry.
It was really good.
Not about eel.
I'm the same way. My grandmother used to try to get us, her grandchildren, to eat eel
Oof.
at the table, and it was not even eel sauce or in a sushi, just like a chunk of eel still attached to the bone,
That's
and it was.
disgusting.
Oh yeah,
And
my
she
family
couldn't
used to do
understand
it
why
too.
like 3-year-olds were turning it down.
When we were kids, we would go out to restaurants with our whole family, and there would be a lot of us because we have a pretty big family. And my dad and my uncles would always try to pay us to eat stuff like baby squids and everything. And my sister usually ate it, and she ended up making like $45 one day because she ate something like that.
I mean, I could probably do squid or octopus or something, but I ain't fucking no eel. Like, I guess I just start thinking of like the eels from Little Mermaid, and they're disgusting. I'm just saying, like I just think of their little faces with their fangs.
Do you like octopus?
I fucks with octopus if it's fried. I won't eat just an octopus piece like that, and like squid and all that shit. It's got to be fried.
I like going to Mongolian buffet because they usually have like the squid and the octopus. And it's not something I would eat like every day or anything, but on occasion I'll have a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, give it a good dipping sauce. I think I could definitely down it. Until I start to realize and think of what I'm eating. Yeah.
You just can't think about it.
Well, that's a problem with me. Everybody knows that. I have to think about everything, especially what I'm eating, because I'm silently criticizing, or not so silently criticizing, everything I eat. So, my favorite, I mean, it's really hard to pick a favorite because, again, there's so much of it, and I like stuff from almost everything. I think my least favorite that I could think of, and this may come as a shock, is Italian. I know that's not really a shock, but I like pizza, but I don't count that as Italian. I count that as pizza. That's its own genre of food. And then when it comes to American food, it's nice, but it's really rich in sodium and
Salty.
salt, and it's very savory, but it makes me feel like crap afterwards. So I guess just when it comes down to it, I could go for Chinese food any day of the week. So not Asian specifically or Japanese or anything like that, but Chinese takeout is what I
So
fuck with.
American Chinese.
American Chinese, because I fucks with it. To be fair, I've never had Chinese, so.
What's your favorite dish from American Chinese?
Like,
what's your go-to?
That's the thing. All right, so if you eat Chinese with me, the thing is I have to get the same shit every time, and I don't get just one thing. I gotta get beef or chicken lo mein. I gotta get a lo mein of some sort. Then I also get the sweet and sour chicken. I'll get either General
Sesame
Tso's
chicken.
or sesame chicken, and what else? It's the fucking the egg rolls. That's it. That's what I gotta get.
Do you just say that's what you're gonna get, or do you like look through the menu and say, "Oh, I'm gonna get something different this time," and then you always go back?
He looks through the menu.
I mean, I pretend to look through the menu and realize everything else doesn't sound as good, so I get the same shit. And I'm not taking a chance on eating something crap either. So, you know.
Sometimes we'll get crab rangoons too.
just to
But
keep it exciting.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
mean, I'm
sprinkle it
sure
in there.
if you handed me something that I didn't like, if I didn't order something and they brought me out a plate of something that was like, try this, I'd probably still eat it. I'd like it because I'm not spending $8 on it. But if I'm spending my money, I'm gonna go to my go-tos.
Do you like Chinese buffet?
No.
I like Chinese buffet, but I now don't like buffets in general. So that becomes an issue. Uh, mostly because it's gross and there's a lot of germs in that whole general area, but also because I like to eat and then take my shit home. So
Oh yeah,
I
I
can eat
forgot you
again
don't like.
later.
You're like me, and you don't like to eat
I
out.
hate eating out. No, right, exactly. I'm gonna go take my shit, bring it home. So that's why I like to get. I'm gonna spend the same or a little bit more on takeout rather than, you know, going to sit down and eat for 5 minutes because I filled my plate up, get full, and then leave to be hungry 20 minutes later. That's the problem with buffets. Old Country Buffet used to be lit, though. That's American food. I used to eat that shit all the time. That will really keep you full.
Yeah, it did.
Do they still have those?
Yeah, they still have them. There's also Golden Corral now.
Ugh. I
Have
feel
you
like I
ever
had
been to
that.
Golden Corral?
I don't know. I feel like I did, but it was when I was younger. We have a Golden Corral here, but I've never been there.
It's literally always packed, and I don't understand because I'm the same way. I like buffets. I like all the food. I like to try everything, but it's so germy. Everybody's touching those, and then you're going back to your
Yeah.
seat, and
And
there's so many
people aren't
germs.
going to the bathroom and washing their hands and then touching the tongs and
Right.
Right.
Exactly. I can't do
It's
it.
gross. Definitely gross.
Yeah.
I'm not about to get buffet of germs, so.
But yeah,
Like
Golden
once in a
Corral has,
while
like,
is
everything.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Golden Corral pretty much has every food you can think of. I think that's why it's so popular.
I mean,
Is
maybe
because
one
you
day.
can get pretty much anything.
One day I'll probably do it. I'll do it for the podcast. I'll go and I'll bring like a little microphone. I'll podcast from Golden Corral.
They do have pizza, so you guys could put it on.
Oh, we could. We
the
can go get the
list.
Golden Corral pizza for the pizza YouTube show that we're gonna do. That'll be great.
Do you have California Pizza Kitchen near you, which is just pizza buffet?
No, we have CC's.
We have CC's.
Okay, so they're pretty similar.
CC's is I went to CC's a few years ago and that kind of scratched my itch. So
They have macaroni and cheese pizza. That's one thing that's good about
Yeah.
them.
But their pizzas are always so bleh.
Mike's also a pizza snob.
You know what?
so-
You know what major pizza chain that I really fucks with though? Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I fucked with a Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
is the pizza for you and me.
Like it's different. I don't know why, but I really fucks with Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
But
It's frozen.
Even after the whole Chuck E. Cheese pizza scandal they just had,
I didn't know it was a scandal, but
What?
I don't know if it was just where I am, but apparently there were people complaining that they're allegedly like if somebody only eats half a pie and doesn't take it with them, that they'll like piece together a pie
that's
out of
gotta
already
be a
cut
local.
pieces.
That's definitely a local thing.
That's
Gotta be
yeah,
a
it
local
has to be.
issue.
Mine's always fresh.
Because ours doesn't. I mean, I guess we wouldn't really know, but I wouldn't. I guess I feel like I would know a pizza if it was pieced together. I feel
Yeah,
like I would
we don't
notice
have a
that.
lot of Chuck E. Cheese near me.
Yeah, we
I
have
think
one.
of like two.
We have one like right down the street. I can almost see it from my house when I walk outside. I can see my work from my house when I walk outside. That's pretty depressing. It's like above a hill. It actually looks kind of pretty. And then you realize that it's not.
I'm 45 minutes from my work, so I can't see it at all.
Terrible commute.
Yeah.
That's a bad commute. I'm just saying.
That is a bad commute.
It's like-
And it's all country. It's literally all country.
I mean, yeah, no, that's like me driving to fucking almost like halfway to Columbus every day or all the way to Cleveland and then back. I'm not doing that.
Not worth
You
it.
know,
Unless you're
the
paying
only-
me a shit ton of money.
The money's the reason. The money's good.
The money's
So-
good.
Yes, the money is good. So yeah, it is nice for like listening to podcasts and
Oh,
music
that's true.
because it's like a 45-minute drive, 45, 50 depending on
That's
weather and
that's
traffic.
how I
So it gives me
was.
time to listen to stuff.
That's how I was when I was Ubering. It's that was the time I would really listen to all my podcasts and music and shit like that. So I'd really be able to do that because I'd be out for 4 to fucking 6 hours driving around aimlessly, trying to get somebody in my car, which sounds terrible. I know, but they paid me, so it wasn't so random.
Yesterday on my way home, there was a guy standing in front of the Dollar General. Not like I was like halfway home, and he was just trying to like hitchhike. And I'm like, not today, Satan. I'm not getting murdered.
You just tell
That's
him to
how
just call
horror
an
movies
Uber.
start.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's how you die.
You kill him before he kills you. That's the move.
And there's literally like nothing between like that town and the next biggest town. It's like a good 20 minutes still. So if you pick him up,
You're stuck with him.
you're stuck with him
At
for a
that
good
point-
amount.
at that
And my
point,
question is, how did he get there?
he
Because it's
walked.
literally the middle of nowhere.
What if he
So
hitchhiked to there?
that's what I thought, but I'm like, why would you hitchhike to Dollar General?
He probably just went from his house to Dollar General and didn't feel like walking back. He
I also
was-
thought maybe like he had a big fight with like his girlfriend at Dollar General.
Oh, he was
And
trying to
she's
get home.
Like, and she's like, get out, and drove off, peeled off without him. So now he's trying to hitchhike home. But there's no Ubers out this way, so he can't really Uber.
Oh, that's true. I guess if there's no Uber, then you can't Uber.
Yeah.
Walk. I guess at that point I'd walk, or call
Right.
You call a regular taxi, right? Is there?
There's
regular
really no
taxi?
taxis. Not
Damn,
really.
that guy was fucked. So
Pretty
I
much.
should go back to see if he's still there.
He wasn't this morning when I drove by, so
He's actually living behind the Dollar General.
yeah, he's living in the Dollar General now. But my favorite cuisine is I'm gonna go with soul food. So I'm talking like fried chicken, ribs, collard greens, cornbread. I love me some cornbread.
I don't like cornbread.
I like cornbread.
I love cornbread.
I just feel like it's bland. Maybe I haven't had good
You're-
cornbread. To be completely honest, I haven't had very
Probably.
much cornbread in my life. I got really upset when people would make cornbread muffin-looking things, and I'd bite into it thinking it was gonna be a muffin. It was fucking cornbread. That was the
Did
worst.
you at least put butter on it?
At that point I was angry that it was cornbread. I don't
I
think
guess
I
that would
had it
be
long
dis-
enough.
That would be disappointing if you thought it was like a regular muffin.
Yeah.
And you bite into it and it's cornbread.
cornbread.
Like at
I'm
first,
like,
I love
"Aw."
cornbread, and I would be disappointed at first too.
That's like picking up an oatmeal raisin cookie, thinking it's chocolate chip, and you get a fucking mouthful of oatmeal raisin cookie, and it's bad enough that there's raisins and oatmeal in it. Had to pretend to be a fucking cookie.
But yeah, I'm going with fried chicken or
Fried
soul
chicken.
food.
Fried
so,
chicken
like,
is the whole
fried chicken
genre.
is fried chicken is delicious. So yeah, I'm going with that. I know I'm fulfilling a stereotype, but fuck it. I love me some fried chicken, some collard greens, some good old Southern black people cooking.
But that's good food. That's
Right.
Even if you're fulfilling a stereotype, it's still good food. If it's fantastic, who gives a shit?
Right? Like Dave Chappelle once said, if you don't like fried chicken and I think he said watermelon, it's your fucking problem. You're the issue, not me.
I I love next to pizza and wings, fried chicken is probably like the next thing that I like to critique. And it's very very upsetting when I get a piece of fried chicken and it's terrible. I love fried chicken. This is why I'm gonna die at 40 years old, because all the pizza, fried chicken, and my diet is just bad.
So we gotta make the next 10 years the best 10 years of your
Eat
life.
all the fried chicken.
We're gonna move on to the next topic, which is going to be movie villains or the bad guys that you love to hate. So I'm gonna let Jen go first, per usual. Guest go first. We're doing top three. So who are your top three movie villains?
This is really hard because I feel like I would have to subdivide by genre to give an accurate picture. Because I feel like you can't put somebody like Freddy Krueger into the same plane as somebody like Hannibal Lecter. I feel like it's two totally different animals and they have to be judged a different way, especially if like there's a supernatural element. But if I had to pick top three, I'm more of a fan of the psychological villain, the ones who screw with your head, who you have to beat with your mind. I would say Hans Gruber is up there for me. I would put Hannibal Lecter up there, and Verbal Kint are definitely near the top of the list for me.
Who's that last one?
Verbal Kint, Kaiser Sose from The Usual Suspects.
I've never seen it.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I'll have to go see it, but
spoiled it for you, but
I'm sure I won't remember. I'll watch it in like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years when I get around to it. My Netflix queue is gonna keep me busy for a while, and I just keep adding to it.
Okay, so Melanie, what's your top three?
So I had to think a little bit, but I was really big into the like series books when I was younger, and then they made the movie and now it's a Netflix TV show. But Count Olaf from the series of Unfortunate Events, I don't really like him at all, but he's
I
a
don't
good
think I
villain.
ever watched it.
I
Or
think
read
I
the
watched
book.
about half of it.
He was very clever. He just comes up with very like ways to manipulate.
I
The
just never
kids.
got into that series. I don't know.
I
I just
loved
couldn't
it.
get into it.
My second would be Biff Tannen. That's one of Mike's too, but
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I gave it
Biff
to her.
Tannen. He's an awful human being, ruling the world. And lastly, Miss Trunchbull. She puts you in the chokey.
She made Brucey eat all that cake.
All that cake.
that poor kid.
That poor kid.
I'd love to be able to eat that much cake, but still,
Oh God.
you're not gonna be okay after that.
Even
No.
watching the movie, it makes you sick.
Yeah, still to this day.
Makes you look at chocolate cakes, a second time before you eat it.
Mike, yours?
So no,
Or is this too broad?
It was very broad. It actually was really hard. But all right, so I had a really hard time coming up with this list. Not necessarily because it was too hard or too broad, but because I didn't want to just give you the cookie cutter answers. Because there's those obvious ones that people that are out there like Joker or who else? Like
Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader or Voldemort. It was kind of like I didn't want to do the obvious. I wanted to do the not as too obscure, but a little less so mainstream. Granted, I'm sure these were still pretty mainstream picks. It just wasn't the obvious choices. The first one is probably going to be Dolores Umbridge. This is no particular order, but Dolores Umbridge, because every time I watch her on the screen, I just want to pop through and punch her in the mouth, but I can't look away because it's good. I mean, they're good movies, and she's a very good character. A very terrible character, but she does what she's supposed to do as a heel. Then there's the T-1000 from Terminator 2. That guy was a dick. He killed as many people as he possibly could, and I think that definitely gives him the top 3 villain spots. And then Penguin from Batman Returns, because he was also kind of an asshole, and just another one that I like to watch because I mean, Danny DeVito as fucking Penguin, that's enough to keep anybody's attention. So
I feel like Danny DeVito is fantastic to watch in pretty much anything he does.
oh, absolutely. I like even in It's Always Sunny, but now I always think of him from It's Always Sunny. And
Yeah, I always think of him as Frank.
Yeah, no matter what he's in, he's Frank.
yeah, and that's now that's all I see, and that's like even when he does the heartwarming pictures or like the kids pictures, I'm like, I've seen him like run around naked and drenched in baby oil, like with stains on his underwear.
Stuck
Or
in his
when
underwear and playground equipment.
Right. Or when he was doing the children's pageant, and he made a point to make sure that everyone knew he was not diddling the kids.
Yeah, watching
While
him
wearing funeral makeup.
watching him coming out of the couch. Isn't that? I think that was him. He came out of the couch when he was all
Yeah, that was
sweaty and
the
shit.
that was the Christmas
Oh,
episode. Yeah,
man.
he was trying to prove something, so they cut him into the couch, but he couldn't breathe, and it was too hot.
Melanie only got like a season, and It's Always Sunny.
You
Like, she
gotta get
decided
past
not to watch it.
You gotta get past the first season. The first season is okay.
Right.
It's the second season where it picks up because that's when Danny DeVito joined.
When Frank
Yeah, the second
comes,
season is drastically better than the first.
he's such a good character.
I
mean,
just feel like I need to pay attention to it, and
I
I
really don't.
You could literally. I started watching it like season 4, and I got it right away, and then I went back because like none of the episodes really connect to each other.
The first season is not that good.
No, the first season is meh.
It's very serious. Like it tries to be very serious, and then as their characters develop, it just becomes way more slapstick. I guess that's
Oh
the
yeah,
best way.
because it's like what's his name? I'm drawing the blank on his name. The son. Not Mac.
Dennis.
Yeah. Dennis just evolves into a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
yeah.
He used to be just a narcissistic asshole, and then he becomes
pretty much a borderline serial killer.
It's good.
I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, it's good.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, if we were doing TV villains, I probably would put him up there because he's a very, very terrible person. They all are, but
I don't know if I consider him a villain. Would he really be a villain though? He's kind of like everybody else in that show, and they're all just anti-heroes.
Yeah. I kind of feel like Charlie isn't a villain.
Oh no,
he's just really, really dumb.
That's true. I feel like go ahead.
Charlie is kind of just like the happy idiot who gets roped into things because he's surrounded by terrible people.
Yeah, right. But he definitely has some terrible thoughts himself. But yeah, I mean, I feel like even if he was alone, he'd still do some dumb shit.
Right. Like play night crawlers.
Yeah, by himself.
By himself.
Yeah. If we were doing TV villains, I know that wasn't on the topic, but I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen Westworld, but the Man in Black, he's definitely a really good TV villain. Definitely one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah. So for mine, the first one is definitely very stereotypical. It would be Darth Vader. You know, he's evil. Everybody knows him. He's an asshole. As a kid, mini Anakin is an asshole, and then he turned into a whiny teenager.
True. Anakin was never a good guy. Anakin was always an asshole.
Yeah, as a kid he was an asshole. As a teenager he's an asshole.
You know who's an asshole in a movie? We were just watching the fucking Notebook the other day, and the dude Noah, the main character, I don't know why the fuck she wanted to be with him. He was a complete fucking dick. Like, there's no reason that they should have ended up together at all, because he was just a complete asshole. It was all about him. It was all about him until the end, when old Noah was like, "Oh, I'm gonna read her this book." But other than that, he was a complete asshole, and he didn't deserve anybody to love him.
that's pretty harsh.
I'm
I've
just
never
saying.
seen it, but it's pretty harsh.
Well, we're gonna have to
but
watch
yeah,
it.
It's a good movie.
We're gonna have to watch it if
My-
it goes to the movies. We're gonna have to.
but yeah, my number one is definitely Darth. Number two is gonna be Scar from The Lion King because he leads a whole like Nazi march musical number. Um, and he
Nazi
pretty
hyena.
much right. He pretty much he tries to he kills his brother, and
He
then he tries
successfully
to
murders his brother. Yes.
and then he pretty much tries to murder his nephew. And then when it doesn't work out, he starves his whole people to death, almost.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of a bad leader too. Just
Yeah, he
saying.
was a terrible leader.
Like-
They
Well, he
started
wanted to
to
lead
starve.
for power, not for
Okay,
helping people
but
and leading.
if everyone's dead, you have no power.
Well, well, that's because he's also an idiot. He doesn't realize that if he kills them all off, he's not in charge of shit anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
But yeah, Scar definitely number one or number two villain, definitely up there. And my third one is Rose from the Titanic.
Wow. She's a villain.
She's the villain.
She wasn't
she's
the
a villain.
villain. The dude was the villain.
No, he is not. He is the only thing he did wrong was he hit her. That was wrong. Domestic violence is never okay.
He was kind of a
but
dick the entire
he was
time,
a dick.
though.
He was a
He was
dick.
a dick.
You can be
But-
an antagonist without being a villain.
She was
Yeah.
definitely the villain. First off, she pretty much ruined Jack's life.
Okay, but
Gets
he was
him
gonna die
murdered,
anyways. He was
gets him
going to
killed.
die anyways. He was on the
don't know that,
Titanic. He was going to die.
No, if she wasn't there, he could have been on that door. He could have
He may
survived.
not have even been near that door if she was there. He still, the entire thing would have been different. And he would have been nowhere near that.
He had
Well-
mad survival skills, though.
He did have survival skill. He was a survivor. He had to keep bailing her ass out.
He was homeless. Like, that's the ultimate survivor.
Yeah, and he
Like,
managed to get himself on a boat.
Yeah, but
to
Yeah.
another country.
He came from England in like what was it, the early 1900s? Everyone was basically homeless.
he was
Just
American.
saying. Yeah, but he was living in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he managed to get himself back on the boat. But anyway, Rose pretty much ruins Jack's life. She fakes like a whole like suicide attempt just to get attention. She cheats on her fiance in front of him, like just flaunts it, just flaunting that she wants Jack's dick right in front of everybody. So I can understand he shouldn't have hit her, but I can understand why he was pissed. Like, dude, I'm right here. You don't have to pretty much make
Yeah,
out
but-
with the guy.
alright, but he
right
also-
in front of
He also tried to like sneak on one of the rescue boats. and
He
take
saves a
spots from
child.
Yeah.
If anything, he saves a child.
You know-
he saves that little girl.
He kidnapped a child.
He saved it though.
And
then he
kidnapped-
gave it.
doesn't
He
make it.
saved it, and then he was like, "Oh, what
He's,
this?"
he's
Take
like,
it."
I can't get away with this. This isn't gonna work.
I have a child.
All right, that's cool. Give me the
And
child.
you're dressed in like fancy ass clothes, and they're in like rags.
Right.
Get the
but
fuck out of here.
It worked. He rescued a child. What did Rose do? She got Jack killed. She ruined his life, her fiance's life. And then at the very end, in the ultimate heel evil person move, this guy has spent thousands, if not millions of dollars trying to find this diamond. You lie to him right to his face and say you have no idea where it went. And then you you tell this long ass story for, I'm sure it was like 3 hours in real time. And then you throw the fucking diamond in the ocean for no reason, ruining this guy's whole life work. He's been spending
his whole life work.
Yeah, he spent millions of dollars, years trying to find it. It was in your pocket the whole time as you made him listen to your boring story. And then you just throw it in the ocean like it's nothing.
I also want to know where she was keeping that thing all those years that nobody in her family, not her kids, not her grandkids, not her great grandkids, noticed their grandmother had like 40,000 carats of diamonds laying around somewhere.
Probably put in her
Where
bra.
was her hiding place?
Right under her tit.
That's where I would keep it.
At all times. It was just strapped there.
Right. I mean, what sucks, nobody knew about it. She probably didn't even have insurance on it. Oh,
No, I'm
that's
sure
the
no one
worst
knew
part.
about it. I'm sure she murdered her husband. That's why he was dead.
He got
Yeah,
too
and
close.
she says, "Oh, I miss you, Jack. I miss you, Jack. I'm never gonna leave you." Leaves him immediately, and then goes and marries some other guy.
I mean,
I'm
she's
sure,
gotta marry. He's dead.
like a week later, I'm sure she married another guy a
A
week
week
later.
later,
Second she stepped in America.
just open for business. All my husbands are dead.
Right, right.
She's a man
So,
killer.
yeah, Rose, ultimate villain.
Man killer.
Oh, you know who I
Man,
was thinking as a good runner-up is Dustin Hoffman is Hook in Hook, because
that is
that
a good
version
one.
of Hook, he was a fucking villain. He was a villain as fuck.
And he had that awesome mustache.
Oh yeah. And then I liked when he took off his hat and it was actually like he had a wig on and you could see his fucking hair. Like his bald ass head. That was great. And he fucking gave the kid a fucking piercing and he beat up fucking Lost Boys and killed him. I'm pretty sure he killed Rufio, right?
Yeah, rest in peace, Rufio.
Rufio was the shit.
R.I.P. That is a great movie.
What
I
if we
haven't
would have
watched
had
that.
what if we would have had stories about Rufio instead of Peter Pan?
We'd have Rufio the musical.
Oh, that'd be lit. It'd be what's her whoever did the lady who did the original Peter Pan play, she could have done Rufio.
I think that was Margaret Murphy, I think.
You could say any name and I'll just agree to it.
True. Pretty much. Wait, who's the villain in Jersey Boys? Is there a villain?
In Jersey Boys?
Yeah.
Not
I've never seen it. So.
really. They're all, I mean, it's not there's not really a villain, or they're all, yeah, no, it's a biopic. So there's not like a bad guy. There's not like somebody holding down the Jersey Boys.
I actually did just think of another one. Joe Pesci in Goodfellas and Casino.
Oh, for sure.
Just a dick.
Definitely Goodfellas.
just an unrepentant asshole. Like, no redeeming qualities. Like, but for some reason, I still felt bad when he got murdered. I know I should know.
Well, no,
but,
he definitely deserved it. There's
yeah,
also
definitely deserved it.
Joe Pesci and what's his name in Home Alone.
Home Alone.
They were definitely good villains.
Daniel
then,
Stern.
too. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds right. I'm gonna agree.
But yeah, they were the Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits, or Sticky Bandits in the
Sticky
second one.
Bandits.
Yeah, I'm more of a Sticky Bandits kind of guy. I like Home Alone 2 better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
go
too.
back and forth. It depends on how I feel. I think I like the first act of both movies. Or yeah, I like the first act of Home Alone 1, the first and second act, but the third act kind of blew. I think the same goes for Home Alone 2, because it gets too like.
So you
fishy.
mean the part where like he
Yeah, the resolution.
where like he figures out how to beat them.
I think the part I don't like in the first Home Alone is all the parts with the old guy. Those all sucked.
Oh, when he's like the not lovey-dovey,
Saving
but
the neighbor's
the-
family.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah. When he goes to the church, he sees him like watching his grandson sing and gives him that sappy story. I don't like that part. But maybe because it's all emotional and shit.
And you weren't there for emotional.
Yeah,
But I
wasn't
will
there for
say-
emotional.
I will say in Home Alone 2, when the lady with the birds comes and she rescues him by having the birds attack.
Oh, that was kind of lit though.
That was lit. That was pretty cool. It was just like,
pigeons.
bird lady, go. Pigeons, go.
She's got a superpower. She's like Pigeon Lady. She should be like Spider-Man and save
She
New
should
York
be in
City.
the Justice League.
Just flying pigeons instead of webs.
Just the Justice League of homeless people.
Or no, she's the one who beats Thanos.
They all just shit on Thanos.
That's how Endgames ends.
That's it.
With-
That's spoiled.
Yeah.
No need to see the movie, everyone. We spoiled the movie for you.
Yeah. The pigeon lady from Home Alone 2 shows up and has the birds attack Thanos. He drops the gauntlet and it's over. So, movie over.
Movie over.
No reason. Cancel it, Marvel.
It should be the Avengers Pigeon Lady. She needs her own movie.
I'd watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would watch that.
There's very little I won't watch with movies, so I'd probably watch the Pigeon Lady movie too.
She just leads the Avengers, beats up both Captain America and fucking Iron Man at the same time with her birds. She just opens up her arms and they just fucking fly all the pigeons in New York City. That's a
lot of pigeons.
It's a lot
She
of
will
pigeons,
black out the sky. Maybe she's the villain. Maybe
There's probably
she's
more
really
pigeons in New
Thanos.
York than people, so that would be impressive.
She's gonna black the sky out with pigeons.
I wish I knew how to write like a comic, because I'm down for this comic.
I am too, damn. I wish I could draw. We need somebody who could draw. We can write it. We just need somebody to pen it. So if we have any fans out there that knows how to draw and wants to do a comic, let me know. We can sell it. We can give it away on Patreon.
Yeah. Home Alone. I don't even know what we'd call her. Pigeon Lady.
I told you, Avengers. Yeah. Pigeon Lady. Pigeon Wars. I don't know. We'll come up with a better title later.
And her number one concern is someone trying to take all the bread out of the city.
Bread sales are down 1,000%.
Bread is banned. He bans bread in the city.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. We'll write it. We'll come up with a good plot.
But yeah, those are all really good villains. There's so many movie villains, like the ones from Rocky, the ones from obviously there's more.
I forgot
from
about
Star Wars.
What's his name from Rocky.
Ivan Drago.
Drago, and I mean Mr.
Clubber
T was
Lang.
pretty lit. Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation, though.
We got to go over best Rocky movies.
Ooh, I know that one.
Oh yeah, you like all the Rocky movies, right?
I love. Yeah, it's my favorite series.
We'll have to talk about it. We got plenty of time. Not this episode.
But so we in this episode for a synopsis, we talked about cuisines, our favorite cuisines. Talked about movie villains. So it's time for plugs. Pigeon Ladies. We came up with a whole new superhero. So time for plugs, people. Jen, I'm gonna let you go first because you're the guest. I know you wanted to talk about the fundraiser you're doing right now.
Yes, Saturday, May 18th in Brooklyn at the Bean Post Pub, 7 p.m. We're doing our 4th annual mucking fundraiser. It supports the Dirty Little Muckers. They raise money every year for multiple sclerosis research. To date, we've raised just shy of $30,000 in 4 years. We're hoping to get over the $40,000 mark this year. Find me on Twitter, Muckin' Captain. If you have questions about the fundraiser, email muckingfundraiser@gmail.com and find us on Facebook, Dirty Little Muckers.
I will make sure to put the Twitter or email or something in the link of the description of this episode. So
thank you so much.
Be able to make sure they can get a hold of you.
We'll definitely do that. That's a good cause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now our shameless plugs. You can donate to our Patreon for $1. For as little as $1. I feel terrible following it up with donate $1 to us. Patreon.com/T13media, letter T, number 1, 3 spelled out, media. You can also find all the links to all of our shows, including the Patreon link at our new website, T13media.com. Again, it's the letter T, number 1, 3 spelled out, media.com. All those links will be in the description of this episode, as well as all the episodes going forward. We will be getting our YouTube channel back up and running, so you can also find all of our shows up on YouTube. Those will start going back up this week, including our show, Monday Night Matchups, which we are super behind on. I'm sorry. That's my plugs.
That's pretty much all of our plugs.
That's all of our plugs. The website covers all the plugs.
Yeah, so go check out everything on that website. Thank you again, Mike. You worked really hard on it.
Thank you.
It looks really good. So you can check it out on your computer, on the mobile.
And it looks the same on
go
both
check that out.
because I didn't feel like fucking with the mobile website, so it's literally the same thing on both. I made
And it's
I made a mobile friendly layout. So
Nice. So and we will be opening up a store at some point.
yeah, that's coming up.
Mike is working on that. So we're gonna keep hoping to give you more content. We have another show that's possibly in the works. So but I can't go into too much detail on that
it's
yet.
A secret.
But it's a secret. Shh! Don't tell anybody. But we're gonna hopefully keep bringing you more and exciting content. But for tonight and for Debatable, case closed.